In this video, we are going to be covering installing and configuring shadow copies, verifying that those function, and working with backups. So let's get started. Go to the C drive and create a folder called Lab11. Share the folder and add work1 users as co-owners. Click Share, click Continue, and click Done. In the text file, in the Lab11 folder, create a new text file. Name it work01.text. Edit the file and type some contents. And that's it for this section. Alright, next, if you're using the lab manual, it doesn't tell you how to do this. It's really easy. Just click Start, go to Administrative Tools, and go to Computer Management. We're going to enable shadow copies. Right-click Shared Folders, go to All Tasks, Configure Shadow Copies. And right here next to Volume C, you can see that it is disabled. So just click Enable. Read the message so you understand everything. Notice that it's just going to use some default settings. If we want to customize those, we'll have to access them later. And then click Yes. Alright, shadow copies are now being enabled with default settings. So let's just click OK. And now let's click the Start button and go to Computer. Right-click on Local Disk, the C drive here. Go to Properties. Never mind, don't go to Properties. Right-click Local Disk C and select Configure Shadow Copies. Click Continue. This brings us to pretty much the same window as before. It's just good practice to know how to do it both ways. So let's just click Settings, and the maximum size limit is set to somewhere around 4 gigs right here. If you look under Schedule, you can see the default schedule is 7 a.m. every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of every week, starting today. So just click Cancel, Cancel, and OK. And we now have shadow copies configured on drive C. Alright, if you're still logged in to the odd-numbered computer with the domain administrative account, just log out and log back in as the local administrator and open up Windows Explorer, or just click the Start menu. Type in / the name of the computer, / oh, and look, there it is, Lab11. So here's our shared folder. Let's open the file and add a new line. Save it and close. And just to make sure it was successful, open it up. There it is. Close it. We are sure that it was successful. Now, to simulate recovering from an unwanted change, let's just right-click the text file and click Restore Previous Versions. And then click Open. As you can see, here is the contents of the file before we made that last change. So let's close that file. Click Cancel. Now click the Start button. Go to Computer. Right-click Local Disk. And go to Configure Shadow Copies. And click Create Now. This will create a second or new shadow copy. Click OK. Now let's return back to that Lab11 folder here. Alright, now in this Lab11 folder, if you right-click on the text file and go to Restore Previous Versions, you can see that it has multiple shadow copies that we can open and check. Both of these are actually the same. I just had them force created. If you back up and go to the C drive, you can actually right-click on the folder itself and see the previous versions that it has. And if you open this latest one here, I actually deleted that line. And you can see that line is missing in this version of the Lab11 folder. So shadow copies are working perfectly. Installing and configuring Windows Server Backup. In the left-hand pane of Server Manager, select Features. Select Add Features. Place a check mark next to Windows Server Backup. Click Next. Click Install. Click Start. Go to Administrative Tools. Windows Server Backup. The Windows Server Backup window appears. Click Backup once. Select Next. Select Custom. Click Next. Deselect the C volume. Be sure that only the C volume is selected, not the backup drive. Click Next. Be sure that local drives is selected. Click Next. For the backup destination, select Backup Drive. Click Next. Select VSS Copy Backup. Click Next. Click Backup. The backup process begins. The backup may take some time. Once the backup is complete, click Close. We now have a backup right here. There's no regular backup scheduled. That's fine, we don't want one. To simulate a file server failure, let's go to Computer, Local Disk C, and delete Lab11, except any sort of warnings that come up, such as this. Close that out. Click Start, go to Administrative Tools, Windows Server Backup, and click Recover. Just click this server, click Continue, and we can select the date and time that we want to recover from. Click Next. Be sure that files and folders are selected. Click Next. Under Work 1, let's browse to Local Disk C and click Lab11. Click Next. Select Original Location, and when this wizard finds files and folders in the recovery destination, we're going to create copies so that we have both versions, just for safety. Restore security settings, of course. Click Next, and click Recover. Shouldn't take too long, we're just working with one folder. Now it's done. Click Close, and go to Computer, Local Disk C, and as you can see, the lab folder is there, and its contents are there as well. The only thing that is not the same is, since it was deleted or misplaced or destroyed or whatever, and we just got it back, it's not automatically going to be a shared file. We'll have to reshare it. That's fine. Installing and configuring disk quotas. First, we have to install the File Server Resource Manager role. Go to Server Manager, click Roles, select File Services, select Add Role Services, and select File Server Resource Manager. Click Next. Place a check mark next to the C drive, click Next once more, and click Install. Once the installation completes, just click Close. Alright, to configure disk quota templates, let's go to the File Server Resource Manager, drill down to Quota Management, Quota Templates. Go ahead and right-click Quota Templates and create a quota template. For the template name, type in something like Lab11 Quota Template. Space limit, let's do 1 kilobyte. Now click OK. And over here, we now have a quota. Alright, so we made this quota template, but now we want to configure a disk quota. So we go to Quotas and right-click and create quota. For the quota path, click Browse, select the C Lab11 folder, click OK. Alright, and under the quota properties section, select that template that we created, Lab11 quota template. Click Create. And as you can see, we've reached 200% of the disk quota. And this is only because we created the quota, this is only because we created the quota after we had actually used that space. This is a hard quota, and so if we had created this quota before we used up that much space, it would not allow us to use beyond the quota. Alright, so let's go to the C drive. Go to that Lab11 folder and let's attempt to create a new file. It should not allow us to create it. There's not enough space on local disk C. 0 bytes is needed to copy this item. Even though we've got 31.4 gigabytes of free space. It's not going to let us do it because of that quota. Let's right-click that quota and click Delete. Click Yes. Now let's go back to that Lab11 folder and attempt to create a new file. And it's obviously allowing us to do it, and we'll call it exercise 11-4. And we have successfully created the file because we removed, or rather deleted, that quota. So that's basically how they work. So in this video, we talked about installing and configuring shadow copies, confirming that shadow copies are functional, installing and configuring Windows Server Backup, and installing and configuring disk quotas.